Wednesday, July 3rd, 1985. I'm coming out of an opening premiere at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood. I turn to both Bobs, Zemeckis and Gale, and say, I think I just saw the greatest film ever made. That film, of course, being none other than Back to the Future. Michael J. Fox, my protege, took my advice when first moving to LA to add the J initial to the middle of his name if he wanted to be taken seriously in the biz. I never take credit for it, but, his career kind of blew up after that, so I never take credit for it. Fox invites me to this Hollywood after party up in the hills, and to my stupidity, I accept. And when we arrive, the place is littered with members of the Brat Pack. Right away, I got little twerp Estevez handing me a drink that says, enjoy the ride. And I'm like, all right, son, I can handle my liquor, thank you very much. 2 sips later, I'm like, something's in this drink. The room starts spinning, and I'm left with 3 prominent images left in my memory before I black out. Strippers, Santa puking at a punch bowl, and Rob Lowe crying because I said Benji the dog could upstage him in any movie. I mean, who can argue that, really? Dog is a genius. Someone give that dog an Oscar already, Jesus. So I awake the next morning literally in a gutter somewhere off the 405. Luckily, my good friend Don Woolworth knew exactly where I was because apparently it wasn't the first time I ended up there. He throws me in the car. I toss on one of his spare suits from the trunk because he said the one I was wearing smelled like pure diesel gasoline. He then reminds me that I was due on set over an hour ago for yet another kids commercial for Hasbro dolls.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes. Kid sister, kid sister, kid sister, kid sister. Wherever I go, you're gonna go.
So I meet with the perturbed clients. They start giving me the rundown of the shoot. And I stop them dead in their tracks and I say, are we really doing this? I'll shoot anything else from Hasbro, anything but dolls. They kind of half laugh, and Don suggests that I stop talking. Personally, anytime I see a kid with a doll, it's a big sign of weakness. The kid will grow up always trying to fill that void, clinging to God knows what. I believe that was the original premise to the Mannequin movie, before several rewrites. When I was a kid, my father gave me a piece of hacked up plywood with nails sticking out of it and said, here, play with this. Look how I turned out. Perfect. We begin shooting with the 2 kids, Billy O'Connor and Sally Smith, running and skipping around with the dolls, but not even 30 minutes in and they're already tripping and falling over the dolls because, they're life-size and weigh a ton. So I raise my voice a tad for the kids to reset so we can quickly pick up the shot because something tells me it's going to be a long day. Well, don't the clients and crew start giving me looks like I'm being too harsh on the kids? I don't know why people have this impression that I don't like kids or I can't stand to be around them, when in fact, it's the exact opposite. I enjoy kids thoroughly. That sounded weird. We're going to cut that out, right? People forget that I had a successful little stint as a musician making children's music hit records. I mean, I literally made an album called I Can't Get Enough of These Kids. I don't know what it is, but I can't get enough of these kids. Oh my, gee whiz, I can't get enough of these kids. I can't get enough of these kids. And then there was the Cautionary Tale album, You Can't Pet the Dog If You Don't Ask His Dad. You can't pet the dog if you don't ask his dad. He could bite down hard, make you bleed really bad. Next thing you know, you got rabies. Will you survive? Doctors giving maybes, all because you didn't ask his dad. As well as a covers album entitled Pulling Up the Covers. When you're driving in a Chevy and you feel something heavy, diarrhea, and diarrhea. When you're climbing up a ladder and you feel something splatter, diarrhea, and diarrhea. In pre-production, I was asked to write the theme song for this spot, which I did, but they ended up altering some of the lyrics because they felt it didn't quite represent the kids' love of the doll. My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he apparently goes. My buddy, my buddy. It's funny, still following me even though I said no. I said no. We surprisingly find ourselves ahead of schedule and we just need a few more shots. Kid spinning around aimlessly with a doll. Kid climbing a tree dangerously with a doll. Kid reading to a doll that isn't listening. Kid feeding fake tea to a doll, which I had to draw the line on. The doll's mouth wasn't even open. And what kind of name is Kid's sister? My buddy? Fine. But Kid's sister? What kid ever referred to their doll, or friend for that matter? Hey, Kid's sister, wanna hop on our bikes and go to the park? Hey, Kid's sister, do you want a sandwich? No kid ever said that. Now, here's where things get a little weird and fuzzy for me. I hadn't looked directly at the doll's face the entire shoot, but when I glanced at my buddy through the lens, I saw a much more demonic face than what everyone else was seeing. I was having what some people would call an acid flashback, or what I like to call, what the hell did Estevez put in my drink? I tried to continue on, but I kept getting creeped out by the face. So much so that I would later relay this story to my director friend Tom Holland, who 3 years later would release a film called Child's Play, based on my experience.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Finally, I can't take it anymore with this thing staring me down. So in the middle of a take, run in front of the camera, rip the doll out of the kid's hands, chuck it across the backyard like a football. It hits a tree, the head pops off. Both Billy and Sally start screaming. The clients and crew are like, what the hell's the matter with you? And Donna's just shaking his head. That was the end of our partnership with Hasbro. But I don't know how they weren't creeped out by those dolls. You stare at those things too long and, you're in the pits of hell for a few hours, at least. The good thing is I was able to pop the head right back on with a snap. That's when you know it's good quality. Durable. Built to last.